Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dream Builds, episode 11. I have been working on this. I think it's been over 2 months now, off and on. I do have replay mod footage. I dug out this entire area, and then got all of this quartz to line the entire room with it. And I think it turned out good. I needed more room to put more of my own personal redstone machines, and I thought just making this place a very large room to fit more things in made sense. But I was also doing this because I think it was a little bit of procrastination. I should probably tell you guys that I have had real life stuff going on. I was in a car accident recently, and it was pretty scary. It was a lot to deal with. I'm okay, amazingly. Working on this was a relatively mindless project that didn't take a whole lot of thinking to get done. I just grinded at it here and there. I have been in a bad habit of feeling like I have to start a project and finish it within the same video. I think between chipping away at part of the lab and the other project that I'm going to start today, we can start making progress toward finishing things. And the build that I would like to start working on this episode is the cathedral. Let me take you guys outside to show you exactly where it's going to be and what I have in mind. Over here, next to the library, is a big open patch of land that has not been used, and I would like to build a grand cathedral, heavily inspired by the one in Dark Souls 3 in Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. If you are familiar, it's the one that holds the boss fight of Pontiff Sullivan. And for a while I've been trying to think of a design for a cathedral type building, and the one in that game really inspired me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make something to the grand scale that it is in that game, but I think it could still be pretty grand. But I think what we're going to do today is lay down the foundations and the shape. We can get into the texturing and detailing next time. It's a big enough build that I think laying down the space and shape that it's going to take will be worth doing. Fortunately, I have a very large supply of stone. So, that's enough talking about doing it. Let's do it! And I think this would be a great time to start a time lapse. Without further ado, here we go. This concludes another segment of Definitely Not Destroying Diamonds with DreamInSilence. Well, you guys, here we are. This is what I was able to make, and I think we are in a good place with it. There's a lot more details that are going to need to be put into this. I really was just needing to build the structure and get the baseline shape of the thing down, and get like a few little detail things in just to get my bearings and know where things are supposed to be for later when I really get into the nitty-gritty of it. The scale of this feels right. The shape of it feels like the kind of thing that I wanted to make. And yes, it's a lot different than the main structure that I was originally basing it on. It kind of ended up being more of an amalgamation of a few different structures in Dark Souls 3, as well as just inspirations from real-life cathedrals that I have seen. The front and the back are both heavily based on the Pontiff Sullivan Cathedral from Dark Souls 3. I tried to make the structure as good of a replication as possible, but there's also room for me to make my own deviations. I did put in that front window. It is not quite like the one in the game, but it was the best thing that I could come up with for the scale of this building, because to really make one that looks like the one in Dark Souls 3, it would have to be much, much larger. This is the space that I wanted to build it in, and I couldn't really get much larger than this, but I'm happy with it. I like where it's at and how it looks, and I feel like it captures the spirit of the kind of building that I want it to be. It's just got a lot more details that are going to need to go into it. I think I will be continuing to work on this in my next episode, and hopefully finishing it. I don't remember if I told you guys what this building is for, but it is going to be where we house our cleric villagers. We want to eventually have an individual building for each kind of villager around here to trade with. It's also just an excuse to make cool builds. And I think this is pretty cool. I think it's gonna be pretty grand by the time it's all done. It feels kind of empty right now, but trust me, there's going to be so much more detail put into this. That's all the building that we're going to be doing today, but that is not where this episode ends. You will notice, if I was able to live up to my own promises to myself, this episode will have gone up before the end of December, before the end of 2024, which means it's the last episode of the year. And I don't know if you all remember this, but we started this channel in January of 2024. And with the year coming to a close, I think that it feels like a good time to reflect on everything that I have done on this channel and in this world over the last year, and see how much I've accomplished and how much things have changed. So let's go see all the things that we have done over the last year. Isn't it amazing what can happen in a year? I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and I hope that you're excited to see me finish this build behind me, and to see all the other things that I plan to do in the next year. That's gonna have to do it for today. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you again. And until next time, don't forget, I love your face. Happy New Year, everyone.